Hello there viewers, welcome to another video here on the FM Scout YouTube channel. My name is Luke and today I'm bringing you an extraordinary experiment, a very intriguing experiment here on the channel. Today we're going to have a look at what if every team in the Premier League used the same overpowered tactic. Now, not so long ago on an episode of Tactic Tester, I tested out Ryan Cassidy's 4-4-2 diamond, the Phantom Menace. And since then, a lot of you have been using it. I myself have been using it pretty much on every save that I use because it is just that good. I'd be stupid not to. Of course, you might have seen me use it on the Eintracht Frankfurt Director of Football Challenge that we also have here on FM Scout, and a lot of you have been telling me in the comments how you've been using that tactic and it's worked wonders for you. Now, the question came through one of my streams not so long ago. One of my Patreon members, Mark Fairhurst, suggested that maybe we should try an experiment with every single team in the Premier League only using that tactic. So he went away and he's produced the video for me because he has the in-game editor. I don't, for obvious reasons, because I don't want to be classed as a cheat. He used the in-game editor to make every single manager unsackable, and obviously him taking over all 20 teams. He then set up the tactic, the Phantom Menace, for every single 20 of the Premier League sides that we have right now this season, and went on holiday for one whole year to see exactly what happened. Now, before we get into it, which we will have a look at in a sec, there are some absolutely baffling results. Not exactly league table wise, but do you know what? I'm not going to spoil it. Let's have a look at how it's set up first. So here we are. As you can see, Mark Fairhurst of West Ham. Mark Fairhurst has taken over every single side in the Premier League. There's all 20 teams. And as we go through each one, every single one is set up to play this attacking 4-4-2 diamond, the Phantom Menace, which we have explained before. Quick overview of the tactic. It is an attacking mentality, two pressing forwards, an attacking midfielder, both wingers on attack, a deep line playmaker, complete wing backs on support, and two ball playing defenders, one defence, one stopper. It is a Gegen press type of formation, and it is very good at doing just that. It can be used as a side at the top of the table, middle of the table, and someone fighting from the bottom. I guarantee it will produce you some results. It has just produced results on every single save that I have done, and I've never actually seen anyone say a bad word about this tactic. Yes, you might get some crazy results, and FM might screw you over because you can't win every game, of course. But I guarantee if you give this tactic some time, you let your sides learn the tactic over pre-season. So as you can see, 24th of June. If they train this tactic for 2 months before the season starts, they will get better and better at it, and the familiarity will be better. More of the teams will benefit from this. I'll just show you exactly. He's gone on holiday for each one here. I'll show you exactly. So tactics again. There we go. Every single side is using this tactic. If we have a look quickly then at the English Premier League and have a look at the season preview. You guys are probably playing the Premier League and seen the season preview. This makes sort of sense to me of what the season is going to end up like. So without further ado, let's go forward one whole year and see exactly how this thing plays out. And so here we are, 365 days later, the 23rd of June 2020. And as you can see, Liverpool have won the Premier League. They've done here what they haven't done quite yet in real life. Arsenal finished in second, which I think is quite a surprise really. Manchester United in third. Tottenham fourth, which means Manchester City and Chelsea out of the top four. Manchester City is probably the surprise package there. Tipped to win the Premier League, finishing in 5th place. And Chelsea, of course, finishing in 6th, tipped to finish in 3rd. So some surprising results there. Going down though, we have Crystal Palace, Aston Villa and Newcastle. Not too out of the ordinary, I suppose, but Sheffield United doing absolute wonders there, finishing in 10th place, replicating what they're doing in real life really. And Brighton as well, I'm quite surprised, beat the drop by quite a lot as well, finishing in 13th place. But what I'm really intrigued with, just on this page, before we delve deeper into this experiment, is this. the for and against goals. Now, if you have a look at this, Liverpool have scored in 38 games 150 goals. Now, we know that their strike force is just unbelievably good this season with Mane, Firmino, Salah, just to name a few, as well as all of the backup that they got through the midfield as well. But 150 goals is an extortionate amount. Beating out Arsenal there on 113, 118 I think is the second highest, Manchester United and Manchester City. So beating them out by 32 goals in total throughout the whole season, and conceding the second least amount of goals on 61. Arsenal there conceding the least amount of goals, which is another shock in itself really, on 58. So quite a baffling amount of goals and goals conceded. Still, 61 goals conceded in 38 games for a team who won the league. That is a high amount of goals. And that is because this tactic is so attack orientated. And we'll see exactly what I mean by that in just a sec when we have a look at the schedule and go through each season. But before that, what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the stats and see exactly, dive a little bit more into this using this tactic. Now, the best average possession, I'm not shocked by this at all because this possession, this tactic doesn't necessarily gain a lot of possession. And the average possession of, how many is that? 12 sides is 50%. No one is higher than 50%. What a weird outcome that is. 49%. The lowest is Norwich, Burnley and Watford, all on 48%. That's the lowest average possession. But the highest, 50. Just goes to show how even this tactic can be. Well, how even it is when you play the same overpowered tactic. Fouls made, I can't imagine that there's going to be a lot, to be honest. The least amount there is Manchester City on 212, the most Newcastle. This tactic does shockingly have a lot of very good seasons where you barely make any fouls, any yellow cards or red cards. So I'd imagine it'd be quite good discipline-wise. Now on the goals total, the lowest amount of goals scored is Newcastle. In 38 games, they scored 62 goals. That's mid-table stuff. That is mid-table or higher stuff, 62 goals. That's high. I reckon in a normal season, 62 goals will roughly get you just outside the European spots. If not, if you're good in defence, a European spot. Because that's almost 2 goals a game. Average. 2 goals a game across the whole season. Where you win some, you lose some. That's an extortionate amount of goals for someone who got relegated. And the least amount of goals scored in the Premier League, 62. We'll have a quick gander at the player overview then. And it's no surprise to see that Mohamed Salah has scored 50 goals this season alongside Sergio Aguero. He's done it in 4 games less though. 50 league goals, that is. Sadio Mane, 46. Aubameyang, 41. Marcus Rashford, 39. Harry Kane, who only played 33 games, scored 38. Musette from Sheffield United scored 36 in 34 games. And finally, it takes until 8th place before there is a player who scored less goals than they played games. That is Leandro Trossard there. 37 games, 30 goals. That is still an extremely high amount of goals. Even Raul Jimenez is up there with 29. The amount of goals that are scored by some very average players in the Premier League. Shane Long, I remember when Shane Long couldn't score for seasons. Now he's just scored 28 goals in 31 games. 28 goals, Shane Long. I mean, he's nothing special. He's nothing incredible. But somehow, it's 28 goals. That is unbelievable. I cannot believe the amount of goals that have been scored here. Tammy Abraham, in 20th place, scored 24 goals. That would win you the Golden Boot last year, I think. I'm pretty sure Aubameyang had roughly around about 24 goals. And that's where the 20th place has scored. Using this tactic. It's an absolutely outstanding stat. Assist-wise then, I'd imagine it'd be quite similar. It actually isn't. Now assist-wise, 17, 17, 17. I am very surprised. It does suggest there's a bit of an imbalance here, I feel. But Mohamed Salah has 16 goals. So did he score 50 goals and then 16 assists. He did, with 13 player of the matches. With an 8.4 average rating. That is high. that is ridiculously high. In total, he scored 63 goals in total in 50 games. So in the Champions League, I wonder who won the Champions League. We'll have a look at that in a sec. Because I'd imagine it might be dominated by Liverpool once again, as it was in real life last year. Key passes here, 108 key passes by James Ward-Prowse. Kovacic there on 103 with Trent, 103 as well. Obviously, right back, doing very well there with 103 key passes. It's an exceptional amount, isn't it? It really is an exceptional amount. But remember what I said about the discipline? The most red cards this season, 2 players had 2 red cards. That is it. There is a lot of yellows, granted. But for red cards, for there only to be 2 players to have 2 red cards, and that is it. Average rating is also very interesting. As you can see, dominated by the attacking players. I mean, even Minamino there, the Japanese man who has just signed for Liverpool, in this update, has done extremely well. 7.92 in 25 appearances in total. So what we're going to do then is we're going to have a look throughout the fixtures this season and just see some of the blinding matches that has happened using this tactic. And we're at the final game of the season here, 17th of May 2020. Look how unbelievable match of the day would have been. A 1-0 is ridiculous. The fact that there's a 1-0, I am actually shocked. A 4-2, 4-1, 6-1, 5-0, 7-1, 2-0, 5-3, 5-2, 5-3. I bet this just continues. 3-0, 6-3. There's a 0-0 there. I am more shocked about that. I'm actually shocked that there's a 0-0. I mean, Watford beat Manchester United 3-0. Could actually happen, really, couldn't it? I'm a Man United fan, and I'm not even afraid to admit that. But as you can see, I'll just flick through, and there's week after week, there is just unbelievable games. There was a couple there which wasn't actually that much. You'd be fully disappointed, wouldn't you? I mean, I know we're all missing football now as we're in the lockdown, but imagine if football came back and it was like this, and we were watching games where it was 6-2, 6-3, 7-3. Some outstanding games, a 5-0. I mean, how great would life be again? As you can see, unbelievable stuff. I'm actually going to go to the very first week fixtures during the season and see exactly what happened in that first week. I bet it's quite interesting. I mean, there we go. The first week of the Premier League, everyone using this tactic, just getting used to it. There's a 3-2, 3-0, a 5-2, 7-1, 3-2, 3-1. Quite intriguing. Quite intriguing. And then on the Sunday, your Super Sunday is unbelievable in the first weekend of the season. West Ham 3, Chelsea 1. Man City beat Wolves 5-1. And then Everton and Southampton pull off a 6-all. A 6-all. I mean, we can't look at it for some annoying reason. We can't go back. But that is just unbelievable to see. We're now going to have a look at who won the FA Cup, the Champions League, Europa Leagues. Let's see if it's all dominated by English clubs or whether they just couldn't hack it. So, oh my god, this is even more bizarre in itself. The FA Cup was won by Everton in extra time, who beat Brentford in the final. Now that is very weird. Brentford beat Tottenham 3-1. So this tactic is putting out some very weird results here. The Carabao Cup was won by Tottenham Hotspur, beating Leicester in the final. We have Leicester there winning 8-4 in aggregate against Wolves. Tottenham beating Sheffield United. Any weird teams up there? Leeds there, losing out to Sheffield United in the Yorkshire Derby. That's quite interesting as well. Finally, let's have a look at Europa League and the Champions League. So the Euro Cup was actually won by Roma, and unfortunately, because the next round has begun, we can't actually see what actually happened in the final. Can we go to history and past winners and we'll see who was in it? So Sporting played Roma in the final, so no English teams there. What about the Champions League? Same again then. In the Champions League, Red Bull Leipzig beat Zebra of Italy, of course, Juventus. They beat them in the final. So in the end, none of the teams in England managed to get to the final. I wonder whether that's because Maybe they're using the tactic, but they're not necessarily using the correct players in the position. I can't really imagine why, because this tactic, when I'm using it, especially in Europe, getting to the semi-final with Strasbourg in seven seasons. In fact, I got to there in the 5th season and was eliminated by Manchester United. And funny enough, in the 7th season, eliminated by Manchester City. It did very well. A very good underdog tactic. So this, for me, is baffling. But there we have it then. A very intriguing and bizarre scenario using the same tactic for every single side. An absolutely outstanding result, I guess. 50 goals in a season for 2 different players. Imagine scoring 50 goals in the Premier League and still not winning the Golden Boot. You'd be absolutely gutted. But that is the case for Sergio Aguero, unfortunately, of Man City, who doesn't even taste Champions League football next year because they finished 5th. So, wow. If you like experiments just like this, maybe you can think of your own and let us know down in the comments, and we can look to see whether we can do that for you. Please drop a like on this video, because the more likes, the more views and everything like that, the more likely we are to bring weird and bizarre episodes on the channel just like this one. Of course, if you're into Let's Play action as well, you can find the link to my channel down in the description, where we have some really fun saves going on right now, especially that 2006-2007 career using the Mad Scientist database with Manchester United, trying to win everything in 3 seasons. And of course, my live stream with Strasbourg, where you can see whether I finally do win the Champions League and finally defeat one of those Manchester teams using this exact tactic. And of course, I will also leave a link down in the description below to take you to the video of the tactic tester using this tactic, which will take you to the FM Scout website, where you can download it for yourself and give it a bash. My name's Omega Luke. Like, share, subscribe to this channel as well, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye bye.